Mr. Drew, would you like to fill us in on what happened with the Citizens Advisory Group for the Whittaker-Bermite CAG?
This is another exciting informational about the Whittaker-Bermite property. It's progressing as slowly as it always has. There is some activity starting on the property. Everybody knows it's in the center of the city, and it's our brownfield, and it's what's contaminating our drinking water, and everybody needs to be aware of the drinking water that's been contaminated with the perchlorate. Right now on the property, activity is finally starting to increase. They're starting the excavation of the area from the train station basically to the first ridge. It's called Operational Unit 5. They had to expand treatment pads to 3 times the size they used for when they did the area over by Golden Valley. Those pads are going to be used to transport the dirt from the area that they're going to excavate to treat the soils with organisms to eat up the perchlorate, and then they're going to replace the dirt back where they're excavating it from. They also needed power on the property of Whittaker-Bermite to run their soil vapor extraction units. The implementation of the power grid is about 90% complete. They're putting up the poles, and that should be set up to where all the soil vapor extraction units can start working. They've been using they've got some small power up there, and they've been using also generators, and they anticipate the power to be on soon with soil vapor extraction units to start pulling VOCs out of the ground and more of the cleanup to get started. The groundwater remediation action plan, or the area, they called it Operational Unit 7, which is the groundwaters for Santa Clarita, basically. The plan is being finalized. All the organizations in town, CAG put in a whole list of comments about the remedial action plan, along with scope and several other organizations. I know the Benelli from Saga Speedway, they put a big long list in also. The comments, the answers to the comments will be coming out soon. They're still being looked at by the lawyers for Department of Toxic Substance Control, so that they make sure they say the right things, and those should be coming out soon. Then the plan to start to treat groundwater up on the property will commence. There's excavation plans for the rest of the property of operational units 2 through 4, which will be left, are being finalized, and they're going to submit the plans to the city for review and then ask for permits from the city. Eventually, that's what took so long the last time. The city was dragging their feet on giving them the excavation permits, and so we're hopefully be able to put some pressure on the city to get the other permits done sooner. They say that the excavation of operational units 2 through 4 will take a lot less time than operational unit 5. Operational unit 5 should be complete within a year, but that's with all their excavation and treating all the soils. I asked at the last meeting about the time frame. They had a deadline that they were pushing for to be totally cleaned up by 2016, and the answer was maybe. They're shooting for the end of 2016, but they're saying that it'll probably go past that, which has been their answer for quite a while, and we just keep trying to push and ask for schedules. And and we'll just keep trying to complete that. Getting back to the groundwater, as everybody knows, or if they've heard, that Saugus wells 1 and 2 were the 2 wells that were contaminated with perchlorates. The first 2 wells that were contaminated with perchlorates, they were down for 10 years. They've been up and running. They're treated at over at the Rio Vista water treatment plant by Lowe's on Bouquet Canyon, but they're only treated for perchlorates. Volatile organic compounds have been showing up in the groundwater, and the VOCs, which are carcinogenic, aren't showing up in levels that they have to report, but they are checking and they're trying to find out where they're coming from. Also, Saugus 1 well, which is on Magic Mountain Parkway, has been down. They're refurbishing it due to wear and corrosion of the well shaft, and they're also putting a new pump on it to be installed, and it should be up and running by the first of the year. So that's been down again because of so much wear and tear from what they've been pumping, and it basically has to do with the chlorate stuff that it's coming up. It's eating away at the metals. CLWA's investigation on the source of the VOCs should be done by the end of the year, and what we believe is the origin of the VOCs that are showing up in 1 and 2 are from the Saugus Industrial Center. And the Saugus Industrial Center was the old Kaiser Century PVC manufacturing plant, which is at the end of Magic Mountain Parkway, just across the railroad tracks from off of Railroad Avenue, or Bouquet Canyon, just across railroad tracks at the end of Magic Mountain Parkway. That's where that's at. The DTSC held a public hearing on November 15th. It wasn't very well publicized, only to a few hundred people that live close to there, but we attended that meeting, and we found out that they had a remedial action plan for public comment. We had a week to make comments on it. What they plan to do in that area is do soil vapor extraction. That was a very contaminated area for VOCs. In the history of that area, there used to be a Saugus school across Bouquet Canyon, where the IHOP shopping center is. There was a cancer cluster in that area. They moved the school, made it a shopping center. They didn't specify whether that was just from the air and the fumes coming from the Kaiser Century, but that's what we assume. Right now, the plume of contaminants that are in the soil that they're going to use the soil vapor extraction to take out of, they say they don't believe it's gone on the other side of the railroad tracks over to Bouquet Canyon, which would be close to the Saugus 1 well. But that's where we think the VOCs are coming from. But right now the model says it hasn't gone there. But they're still looking at that. And that's what's so important about this whole issue is that it's the drinking water for everybody here in Santa Clarita. If you're a customer of the Santa Clarita Water Division or Valencia Water Company and some of the Newhall County water, you get Santa Clarita municipal water, which is contaminated on Saugus 1 and 2. There's 2 other wells that are closed down right now, which are the Valencia wells, but they're planning on putting those back in. They are contaminated with perchlorate. Perchlorate affects thyroids and affects newborn children with thyroids, and the VOCs, which is a carcinogens are starting to show up. The CLWA does not treat for the VOCs yet. Like I say, they're not to a reportable level to where they have to, but they are looking to find out where it's coming from, which we believe it's probably the Saugus Industrial Center, but and then they'll take action when they find that out. Right now, they treat for perchlorate, and then the water is blended 6-to-1 and then put into our drinking supply. Our next meeting is March 4th. There will be a multi-jurisdictional meeting at City Hall at 3:30 in the afternoon with the council subcommittee and all the players of the Whittaker and Department of Toxic Substance Control and CLWA, and everybody explains what's gone on for the past months. That's open to the public. And then that evening at 7 o'clock, we will have another CAG meeting. We have it at the Santa Clarita Methodist Church on Bouquet Canyon across from El Presidente, and we wish everybody would be there. After the Measure S thing, we've gotten more public participation. Hopefully we've opened a lot of eyes up with the Measure S thing, and at our last CAG meeting, we did have 25 people show up, which we were very excited about, and we hope to have more than 25, and it is an issue that is going to affect everybody here in Santa Clarita because we all drink the water. Some people use bottled water, but it is our water supply, and it is affected. And it will be affected for many years to come. And as soon as they get the property cleaned up, it will still be 30 years before the water is totally cleaned up. So I want everybody to be aware of that, and hopefully we'll bring back more information, but we would love to have you come to one of our meetings. Our next meeting is March 4th, and be aware of what's going on so that we can put some pressure on the city to expedite the permitting process so that DTSC can push the Whittaker Corporation into making sure that this gets cleaned up. Like Al said before, the city is very eager to get the roads put across the property. There are 4 major roads, and they are in the master plan of the city to cross the property, but nothing can be done until it does get cleaned up. So we need extra people, voices, and participation to pressure them to get this done. With that, that's what's been going on. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But March 4th is our next meeting, and everybody's welcome to the show. All righty.